What's going on, guys? Reaper here, and today I wanted to make this video about different celebrities that I met. This will be one of two parts because I've been fortunate enough to meet several different people. Again, by no means am I bragging. I just wanted to kind of detail my experiences because they were really awesome for me, and hopefully you guys get to meet someone that you look up to and really enjoy. So, for starters, I'm going to start off with the first person that I met. His name is Hoodie Allen. He's a somewhat underground, unknown rapper. He is the only rapper that I really listen to except for Childish Gambino, but he doesn't mumble or anything like that, so I really appreciate it. So this will be the first experience. I got tickets for my birthday, and the concert was in winter, so it was really cold out, and it was, I think, like snowing. So I wanted to get there early because the first 100 people that were in line that bought merch, they got to meet him. So I decided, and he's really cool. He lets people like meet him afterwards, like by the bus and stuff like that. But it was, I think, like a school night or something like that. So I wanted to kind of, get in and get out. And so it was winter, and we were waiting outside. I got there probably at like 1 o'clock or so, and the concert didn't start obviously until late night. But I didn't care because I wanted to meet him. So I was probably like 90th person in line or so. So doors finally open. It's structured as we get in terms of like the checking the bags and stuff like that. But as soon as it got past that point, it was kind of pandemonium. People were running to get to the merch table, and I kind of followed suit because I was excited. So get to the merch table. Everyone's kind of shoving money in the dudes' faces, which I don't appreciate because it doesn't even like treat them like they're human. I feel irritated when people do that at work for me, so felt bad for the guys, but they kind of know what they're getting into, I suppose. So it's really hectic. People are just huddled around the table, and I hear the dude say, "Hey man, this is the last wristband I have," to the other guy at the merch table. So I kind of freaked out. I was like sort of in the front area, but again, it was like a large crowd, so I was nervous. So I reached my long arm out there. I didn't shove it in the dude's face, but like I kind of, made my presence known, and I asked for 2 shirts that I wanted, and then he gave me literally the last wristband. So already I'm super lucky. And so the concert happens. It's awesome, and it was my first concert, so I had a really fun time. And the end of the concert hits, and then they have the people line up in front of the barrier, in front of the stage, to meet him. So I was nervous, so I kind of had my head resting on the barrier, and technically I was like the last in line because we were on the left hand side, and I thought the line started at the right hand side. But the worker comes up and he's like, "Hey, you're first." So I was freaking out. I was super excited. I was the first one to get to meet him, and waited probably about half an hour or so because he wanted to shower and stuff like that, obviously, because he was on stage for an hour, entertaining. So time finally comes. They're like, "You can have one picture and he can sign one thing for you." And I was super excited. I brought his CD with me because I figured that would be the most ideal thing to sign. And the person that I was with was holding my shirts, and so I went up to him. I told him, like, "I'm a super big fan. You had a really awesome show." And he couldn't really talk because he had to like save his voice or whatever since it was at the end of the show. And understandably, like, he kind of was like quieter about it, but he was like, "Thanks a lot, I really appreciate it." And I gave him my CD to sign, so he signs that, and then he motions to the person I'm with to give him my shirts, so he signs both of the shirts. And already I'm like super excited because they were like, "Hey, he can sign one thing," and dude is just like signing everything that I have, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then we take the picture. I say thanks and tell him to have a good night or something like that. Like, I was super nervous, so I was kind of flustered. And then as soon as we left and I got in the car, I almost felt like I had to throw up from literally excitement. Like, that sounds ridiculous, but it was just so cool for me, and it was such an awesome experience. So that was the first time. The second famous person that I met is Nick Offerman. He plays Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation. That's his most famous role, and that's the thing most people know him for. This dude is amazing and hilarious, and I went to see him. He had a book tour, and it was only $20, and you literally got a free copy of his book. So I was already like, and there was no promise of getting to meet him. I didn't even think. I thought it was just the thing was gonna happen, and it was gonna be done. But they were like, hey, you guys can come up and have him sign your book and like have a quick chat with him. So I was super excited. It literally, there was like a mad dash again for the front, and I kind of followed suit. My friend didn't for some reason because he's dumb, but so I made it down below, and then they're like, hey, you guys need to stay in your original seats. I didn't, obviously, because it was again a school night and I wanted to, get in and get out, and it was taking a while. So my friend was up on like kind of the balcony seats, and I was down on the bottom, and I was like live texting him. I was like, where are you, dude? Like he said they wouldn't let him in the bottom. So I was almost on stage, and he was like, just meet him, like I'll meet you outside. And I was like, no. So I talked to one of the workers there, and I told them what happened, how we separated, it was school night, blah blah blah, and gave them an exact description so they knew like he wasn't just sneaking in or whatever. And another worker out there brought him up, so literally we were almost on the stage at that point to meet him, and my friend was super excited too, obviously. And I was like, what are you gonna say, man? And he was like, I don't know. So we got up on the stage, met him, and then I don't remember what my friend said because he was after me, but I walked up to him, I said I'm a huge fan, and then I said, I just have one quick question. What is your opinion on skim milk? And this is a quote from the show. And I figured like people are just gonna say, oh my god, I love Ron Swanson, blah blah blah, but I wanted to be a little bit different. I didn't want to, because I hate when people like just say one thing about a character. Like he was in 21 Jump Street, like he has a lot of other funny roles, but it was one of my favorite quotes, and I wanted to hear him say it because I love his inflection when he says it. So I said, what's your opinion on skim milk? And then he said, that's water that's lying about being milk, in his like perfect voice, and it was hilarious and amazing. And then I said thank you, and said goodbye or whatever. So that was my second experience. I think I'm gonna actually cut this video a little bit short. I might make 3 parts depending on how long it takes me to tell the other 2 stories, but I have 2 more to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have met anybody cool, famous, stuff like that, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about that experience, and I will see you guys in the next part. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace.